Welcome to Men at Work, where we strive to put Christ first in all areas of our lives, including business stewardship, accountability, fellowship, and prayer. If we can help you in any way get connected to like-minded Christians for creation of small groups, finding content, securing a venue, please email us at menatworkministry@gmail.com. My name is Luke, and I'm humbled you took a little time to spend with me today. Today I want to get a little uncomfortable talking about work. This past week I've been off from work, resting after a just brutal last few months. I'm in the commercial real estate business and getting through a busy holiday season, and then moving straight into some major events happening in early 2024. Spent a lot of work and little rest, and so this past week I was able to recharge, spend some time with my wife and my kids, and now here I am on Sunday afternoon, kind of mentally preparing myself to go back to battle for the week ahead. I mean, here's something that I don't think you're going to hear at most churches on Sunday as it relates to work. I mean, we all know that we were put on this earth to work. In fact, first chapter in Genesis, verse 28, God tells man, be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth and govern it, reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the skies, and all the animals that scurry along the ground. So from the very beginning, we were created to work. And I believe that much of childhood is preparation for being ready for adulthood, which requires that we work. We need to be productive. We need to provide for our families. And it is such a tool to also spread the gospel by letting others see Christ's work in and through you. So it's not the returning to work that troubles me. I'm not looking for a life of leisure and comfort that a lot of people, frankly, do seem to be living for these days. For me, and I've been studying Matthew 10, both in my personal just scripture reading as well as in Men at Work. Us as a group have been reading through the book of Matthew. And how do we strike the balance between being as shrewd as snakes and as harmless as doves, as Jesus says in Matthew 10:16? Now, that's part of a series of instructions that he's giving to the disciples as they are to go out and start spreading the gospel message throughout all throughout Israel. So I'm curious your thoughts. Can we also apply this instruction to modern day work environments? And so just kind of wanted to read a excerpt from Matthew 10 today. And just ask some probing questions. And my hope is we can get some dialogue going in the comments, and this can kind of just open up a lot of different areas of discussion. So if you'll bear with me, I'll start in Matthew chapter 10, starting in verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions. Do not go among the Gentiles or enter any town of the Samaritans. Go rather to the lost sheep of Israel. Remember, we talked about lost sheep last week. As you go, proclaim the message, the kingdom of heaven has come near. Heal the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those who have leprosy, drive out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. Do not get any gold or silver or copper to take with you in your belts, no bag for the journey, or extra shirt or sandals or a staff, for the worker is worth his keep. Whatever town or village you enter, search there for some worthy person and stay at their house until you leave. As you enter the home, give it your greeting. If the home is deserving, let your peace rest on it. If it is not, let your peace return to you. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that town or home and shake the dust off your feet. Truly, I tell you, it will be more bearable for Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for that town. I am sending you out like sheep among wolves, therefore be as shrewd as snakes and as innocent as doves. Be on your guard. You will be handed over to the local council and be flogged in the synagogues. On my account, you will be brought before governors as kings as witnesses to them and to the Gentiles. But when they arrest you, do not worry about what to say or how to say it. At that time, you will be given what to say, for it will not be you speaking, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. I'm going to stop right there. And again, this is very clear instruction that Christ is giving to the disciples as they are about to embark on this journey of spreading this new gospel message throughout Israel. While I don't believe most of that is, being spoken in light of 21st century secular work environments, I do, again, go back to that phrase, be shrewd as snakes and harmless as doves. I I think a common misconception of Christians in the workplace is our kindness can often be mistaken for weakness. I think there's a lot of people that think they can take advantage of a Christian. And I've had that happen to myself. And then when I was as shrewd as a snake, that I've had my faith called into question. There's a lot that we deal with in the workplace this day and age. So in the last year or so, I've been offered a $5,000 cash bribe. I've, as I mentioned, had my faith called into question on a pretty regular basis. I think things come up in terms of ethics and morals and making choices and decisions on a daily basis. And so how do we use the mentality that Jesus had for spreading the gospel message and apply it to our work life today? Further in Matthew 10, these are pretty bold words from Jesus. Matthew 10:34. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to turn a man against father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be members of his own household. Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it, and whoever loses their life for my sake will find it. This is strong language he's using, and I think that level of boldness is what the level of boldness we need to carry into our workplace. So my question is, who are you really working for? In my opinion, I answer to God first. So any moral or ethical decisions need to be made under that construct or that framework or on that foundation. If I'm being asked to do something by my employer that's not ethical or I believe morally aligns with my faith in God, then I shouldn't do it. And maybe I need to look for another employer that wouldn't put me in that position to compromise myself or my principles or morals. But then secondary, so say, when you're not being put in that position by your employer, then we are working for our employer and we need to put their best interests as, make that as supremely important. Colossians 3:23 and 24 says, work willingly at whatever you do as though you were working for the Lord rather than for people. Remember that the Lord will give you an inheritance as your reward and that the master you are serving is Christ. So when I'm getting the car to make the commute to work tomorrow, I need to thank God for giving me the opportunity and the ability to go out and earn a living and support my family and work as though I'm working for Him. And then I need to be a good and faithful steward. If you consider the parable of the talents in Matthew 25 that we spoke about during our first video, it's our job to steward what we have and use our gifts and talents to produce a bounty. And if that's, whether that's for Christ and you're working in, ministry, or that's for your employer and you're working in their best interest to create value for their business. So, again, I am curious whether others out there watching this agree that we can apply some of Matthew 10 to how we go about working in a productive manner that is working for God, while being shrewd as snake and harmless as doves. Or is that a stretch? And we should only really apply this to Christ's instructions to his disciples as the first Christian church was, just forming at the conclusion of Christ's earthly ministry. Again, leave comments. I would love to have dialogue with you in the chat, and look forward to talking to you next time. Thanks.